If you're into crystal healing, perhaps the most important mineral is quartz, clear quartz. The reason that clear quartz is so important is because it's got a strong high vibration. It attunes naturally and almost syncs the human energy field. And it is incredibly versatile. Not only is it highly programmable, it grows in countless formations that can have totally different metaphysical properties, but yet still adhere to the general properties of quartz. I mean, you want to talk about multidimensional, quartz brings it. Quartz grows all over the world. It grows on every single continent, and it grows a lot on other minerals because it is made up of silicon and oxygen, which are two of the most abundant minerals in the Earth's crust and actually make up lots and lots of minerals that we use all the time. So I decided to make a video comparing 3 of what I would consider to be the world's greatest quartz, or from a metaphysical collector standpoint, 3 of the most important quartz. And those are a Brazilian Lemurian from Minas Gerais, a Colombian Plasma Quartz, also known as a Colombian Lemurian, and I have a Himalayan quartz point from Nepal. Now, incredible quartz grows everywhere, and some of it is quite legendary, but these 3 represent 3 of the most well-respected metaphysical quartz available on the crystal market today. They are legendary for their energetic abilities, they are legendary for their location, they have often attributes of being connected to other realms, other dimensions such as Lemuria or Atlantis or the Ascended Masters or higher dimensions. And many, many people have written about what they've done. You also can just pick any one of these up and feel how intense the energy is. So what makes one special or different than the other? Or do they just all feel like the same thing? We're gonna start with the Brazilian Lemurian. This is literally the name brand in metaphysical quartz laser wands. Now, if we put it up against the Columbia, how are they different? So I'm just gonna tune in and see what I get. There's a lot of similarities energetically between the 2 of them, but I can also feel the Colombian Plasma Quartz a little bit stronger. I can feel the Colombian Plasma energy in my body. The Brazilian energy is much more lengthening. I feel connected maybe more throughout, you know, the Kundalini column on the spine, and definitely up through the crown, but also definitely down through my feet. Interesting, so the Brazilian energy goes up and down, and the Colombian energy expands outward. I would also use the Colombian Plasma Quartz to stimulate psychic visions. I think I could use it to get more answers about myself and who I am and why I'm here, and channel information. Where I feel like I could call on some very powerful guide from Lemuria in a healing session, and they would give me diagnosis on the soul of the person that I'm working on. I could also probably use that information for myself. And if I wanted to really connect with a very specific group of people, I would probably use the Brazilian Lemurian. Basically, this one would activate a conversation with another being, where this one you just get the information through claircognizance, more like a clair knowing. So we'll put this one down, and then I'll compare the Lemurian to the Tibetan. These 2 come from completely different areas of the world, and you can feel it. This one is very much the energy you would consider to be associated with the land it comes from. The spirituality of Nepal, Tibet, and India, the idea of consciousness, the land of the Buddha, the land of the gods, Shangri-La, that's this energy. This is a fabulous mineral that you would use to obtain nirvana. If you were studying sacred Buddhist text or something like this, or even sacred Hindu text, or Jain, or whatever of the many beautiful religions that come from that part of the world, this would help you translate those into a human experience. You could use this one to contact even the immortals or the gods. Versus this one is still holding strong with it as a gateway to the Lemurians. And for anybody that's done the type of spiritual work of talking to beings from other realms, it's important to talk to different groups of beings from different realms, because you get different perspectives on things. We'll put the Lemurian down, and I'm gonna pick up the Colombian. These 2 are much more identical in their energy. It's sometimes hard to put into words the expansiveness of what lies beyond our human understanding. And I think working with quartz like these helps us to understand that there's so much we don't know, and that's okay. That there's so much wisdom and love and dimensions, and that human beings are both so small but yet so important at the same time. The general feeling I'm getting from the Colombian quartz is that its time has not yet come. We live in an age where the wisdom that was available through the Himalayas has been expanded around the world through Buddhism and yoga, and however it got there, both willingly and unwillingly, and that's a good thing because it helps everybody who wants to learn about it. The Colombian is saying it's the stone for the next age. The wisdom that it contains in it, humanity is still trying to access. Where the Tibetan is almost a little bit easier for people to understand because the terminology is a little bit more infused in our understanding. So in the next 6,000 years is what it's telling me. In the next 6,000 years, the wisdom in the Colombian Plasma Quartz and the Colombian Lemurian will become more important for humanity. It's the next stage of humanity. It's the next evolution of humanity. It's interesting, humanity has been the same for a long time, but it also grows at the same time. It's extremely paradoxical in that the next stage of our evolution is upon us, and that's why there's such an awakening and a sharing of knowledge, and it's really important that we work to keep education and keep people being educated and freeing their mind and allowing them to make choices and not reverting back to the old ways of oppression. There's other groups of beings that live on this planet in different dimensions that many of us can't see, and how they move up and down through dimensions. The Colombian Plasma Quartz is talking about that. I'll see if I can hold all three together. We could call this the Trilogy. This is a very powerful group of crystals right here, and I'm very lucky to be able to have access to these minerals in the way that I do. The wave of personal gratitude and energy off of these, it almost makes me feel like I want to cry. It's a very emotional experience. These are the gatekeepers of the planet. These are the real libraries of the annals of the earth and of humanity and all the things in between. And these three are saying it's important not to get too focused on such small details associated with your time that you live in. The politics of the time will change. The issue of the times will change. The continents will move. The civilizations will rise and fall. Focus more on what's consistent throughout humanity and what's the purpose of your life, and you'll find more happiness and wisdom than being bogged down by trifle points that could change at any minute. We should spend less time looking at our differences and more time making and understanding what makes us similar, and how if we work together as a group, we have more compromise and less bickering. Humanity will do all the great things that it wants to do, but if we focus on the aggressive, lower vibrational energies, then we'll struggle more. They're basically saying if you want to transcend and help shed these things, just working with quartz and minerals in general will help you to do that. Three wisdom keepers. It's actually really overwhelming to hold them. I think I'm going to go cry now.